Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Sousou no Frieren episode number 20 reaction. Okay, the previous episode what happened was we were obviously Frieren's group were trying to find the stele. However, Frieren's group has already found one, but Frieren comes up with a plan, and the plan was to freeze the water body in the middle and put mana in the other water bodies, leaving only one or two. And in front of one of them, Frieren will just stay there waiting for the stele to come and she'll capture it. That was the plan, and it worked out perfectly. However, Denken, I think that was his name, he and his group, or particularly him, he was able to deduce the whole thing. And he was ready, and he was keeping his senses out to feel whenever Frieren's going to use her magic. And as soon as he realized that, they decided to ambush her. So now we're going to have a little battle, I'm guessing. So let's see what happens there. While over there, Fern's group is also fighting with another group. So let's see how the individual battles go and how this plays out. So yeah, let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, they're fighting. Yep. Damn, she's just walking. What the? Damn. It's deadly. Yep. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. You did mention. She did mention that. I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's begin. Oh. 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 The intensity is pushing her back. It's a battle, you know. Damn. Oh my god. Well, she's the girl who defeated a demon, you remember? What was that guy's name? Lunar or something? Yeah? She's the girl who defeated him. So I'm pretty sure she can take care of most of the people here in this exam. So, except Frieren, I guess, because Frieren is like on a next level. Oh. Hmm. Necessary killing, okay. Oh. Oh, it's kind of like Frieden's ability, isn't it? Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Oh wow. Oh okay. Yeah. Damn. Oh, he took it out. Well, I. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was wondering. Like, oh, maybe he himself cannot move. Ah. He himself cannot. Oh no! Wait, what? Whoa! Oh damn! He himself cannot move. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You can stop. Oh wow! Hmm. All right. Mercenary special. Oh yeah, I guess. Oh my god. Yeah. Damn, that is messed up. Wow. Okay. What's happening? Hmm. Wow. Yeah, he's waiting for her to, yeah, change her mind and say something like, "Oh, take the stealer," but she's not going to do that. Necessary killing. Oh, well, yep. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like Frieren. Oh, she also learned that from her. That's funny. Yeah, you're lying. Hmm. Bruh. She lied because she wanted him to back off. Or he knows that she lied, but he went along with it because he doesn't want to kill that girl, Yubel. Wow. Yeah, it could be either of it. Either he realized that Fern is lying and deliberately went along with it because she didn't want to kill Yubel, as she said, necessary killing. Okay, let's see. What is that? Is that feathers? What? Flower petals. Oh. Hmm. Wow. Oh. Oh. Oh! Whoa! That was an illusion? Okay. Oh, it's a clone. Oh. Yeah, it's over. Knocked out. Wow. Really? Damn. So he already had like a substitution. Okay, he didn't know. He didn't know that she lied. I thought he deliberately knew and deliberately went along with it because he didn't want to. Nah, he saw what she can do. Bruh. Hmm. Well, there's a bigger monster than her here, which is obviously Frieren. But oh boy, behind that bush. Yeah. Yeah, you think? Oh my god. Wow. Ah, there you go. Wow. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, he helped her out. Wow, 29. Wait, how old is he? Wait a minute. Was that her? Wait, is that actually her? Ere? The hair color looks the same. It wouldn't surprise me, if that was the case. Ah, whoa. What's happening? Oh! But how do we get it? Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, he can just use that. Oh, yeah, I forgot. As he said, he wasn't lucky enough to get one up until now. And it's not late. I'm sure you can, you know. Oh, wow. Yeah, you think so? I don't think so. Okay, let's see. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. All right. Wait. Oh my god. What the hell? What? She just nabbed it. Wow, you can see how he's controlling his mana so that, like the that's an indication of, yeah. Rocktor for the Sense. Sensei and Genau. Battle disguised as a hunting competition. Yeah, I guess. Yep. 3 hours. Right, we need to get the stele back. Yeah, I was wondering why. Hmm. Okay. Jilver, the mountain tribal. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering why did they come out? They could have just left. Ah. Hmm. Wow. Here we go. The secret is out. Or I guess it wasn't really a secret. Yeah. Yeah, you think you can do that? You're just underestimating everyone so much. Wow. All right, let's see. What the? Oh, retard. Like earthquake or something? Like he makes? I don't know. Yeah, like that's why he'll just kill anyone. Like, is that your logic? Like, what are you on about? Privilege? What privilege? Who? Accomplished mages from the war against the team. Oh, I see. So this girl that we saw in the OP, anyone who can become she offers a special privilege. Ooh, wow. Oh, that is crazy. That is why everyone is like, okay. Yeah, that's like those two, Zens and that guy, they probably got something. Yeah. All right. You are you are just acting too overconfident. Hmm. All right. All right. Let's see. Oh my God, they're going to end the episode here, wouldn't they? Yep, he uses earthquake. His name is literally Richter. I'm like, he uses earthquake, doesn't it, or something like that. Oh my God, bruh. They're going to end it here. Oh boy, here we go. Ending song. Yeah. Oh my God, I thought we were going to have a fight today, and I guess we technically did have a fight, but we got to see the Fern and like their parties battle. But yeah, next episode should be interesting. that is it. And yeah, that was episode number 20 of Sousou no Frieren. Now, today's episode was basically we got to see the battle between Friend's party and the other group, and we got to see a little bit of Frieren and that whole conversation. Ah. Okay, so in the battle, that we saw between Fern and their group, Ubel versus Wibble, I think that was his name. That battle was interesting because you can see how, like, what can I say, like these two, they have been not telling us and showing us that, oh, these two are probably like very like vicious or something like that. But as we saw them fight, you can see that neither of them were like, like, I'm not sure about Ubel though, because I'm not sure about her, but at least one thing I was able to understand, that Verbal was, yeah, he obviously he's in the demon corps, and he like fights and all that stuff he does, and he has had to take a lot of like lives, and like very in very like difficult situations, in very cruel situations, he had to do a lot of things. However, like you can see how he has this whole like moral compass, which where he talks about necessary killing, and obviously how I'm guessing he determines whatever is necessary. He's obviously like, that's the things that he has killed and everything. He talks about that, and I throughout the whole battle you can see that he, like, I don't know, like he's not really that crazy as at least I thought he would be. Like, I thought he was going to be like this crazy like type of like bloodthirsty person, like, oh, I want to kill you, that kind of thing. But none of that was there. And he was very calm headed, and he was very like logical about a lot of things. And like he was, and in the end I actually thought that when Fern comes in and tells him that, oh, I've taken out Ere, I thought he realized that she was lying, and he played along with it just because he didn't want to take a life here, and he just played along with Fern's lie because he wanted to leave and go on his own way. But turns out that was not the case. He actually thought that Fern took her out, which obviously I guess like, yeah, like he doesn't really know Fern that much, so he took her at her words. He thought that, yeah, Fern said that he took her life, and that's probably what she did, and that is why he genuinely didn't know that. So yeah, but still, like seeing that he fights logically and in a more, I guess you could say, in a very calm-headed manner was interesting, because here's the thing. Even though Fern told him, yeah, I've taken out Ere, he could have easily like tried to attack them or do something. But what he did was like, okay, so you've taken her out, that means we cannot win, because all of the team members needs to be present. So he realized that there's no reason to continue further bloodshed, and he decided to move along, because like he realized that, yeah, like in no way, like like, can I do anything at this point. So he just moved along instead of like like trying to attack Fern or anything. He logically went along with it, and then obviously when he saw that Ere was fine, he was like, oh, they got us. That that kind of thing. So interesting, like I don't know, like his character design made me think that he's going to be one of those crazy characters who would be like, like like that type of characters who's like, but he like really his actual personality really like went completely in a different direction that I was thinking about, you know. So yeah, that's kind of interesting, and I didn't even expect him to be this. I guess you could say friendly with his own teammates. I generally thought he was going to be this very like like I guess even Ere said that. Ere also kind of said it in a way. She said it in such a way to Fern that, oh, the way he fights is very dirty and like in a very like like practical way he fights. He can use he can stoop low to fight and win a battle. I guess, overall, and obviously his character design made me think he's probably going to be like that. But yeah, he turned out to be a lot different than I expected. So that was kind of interesting. Also, Yubel as well, I guess, in the end, he was almost trying to attack Wirbel, but Fern stopped her. And Fern was like, come on, like, just stop it. And she was like, all right, fine, whatever. Yeah, so that's that. Also, another thing, I do wonder if I am correct or not. He talks about a girl 29 years ago. Um, okay, you know what? I'm probably wrong. You know why? Here, what I thought was like, he says that, oh, like there was a girl I liked 29 years ago. She went away from our village, and I promised her that, oh, I'm going to kill all the demons and all that. So that's what I'm doing. I acted tough. And I looked at the girl and I was like, oh, she looks awfully similar to Ere. And I actually thought, oh, it would be, it's probably that Ere is that actually that girl and something like that. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's impossible for that to be true. Because, number one, that happened like 29 years ago or something, as he says. I'm guessing he was 5 at that time. So he's probably like 36 or 37 years old. And in the flashback, you see, in the flashback where he came and defended Ere from that magical, like that demon, you can see Ere is a kid over there. Not a kid, but at least she's like 15 or something. While he, at that point, he seems like he's like 30. So that age doesn't match. So that girl is probably not Ere. Like, I think I made a mistake here. I'm not 100% sure. But that girl is probably not Ere. Because, sometimes anime do this. Like, like, oh, there's a girl I knew like 10 years ago, and, something like that. And the person who he's telling that to is literally that girl, and he doesn't realize it. That kind of thing happens a lot of times in anime. So I thought this was something like that. I'm not 100% sure. 50-50 chance this girl is that girl is either Ere or it's not. I feel like it's not because, again, like I said, the age doesn't match. In that flashback, we saw that girl look very similar to age to Wirbel, but here you can see Wirbel is like at least, I don't know, like I said, 30 or something when he was fighting against that demon and saved Ere. And Ere looks like 15 here. So I don't know. I'm not really sure about what happened, but yeah, I think I was wrong. Like my judgment was wrong. That wasn't Ere. Probably not. But who knows? The fact that they did not show that girl's face is kind of suspicious. you know, that's why I thought like, oh, maybe that was Ere or something. And also the way Ere. Oh no, that is Ere. Oh my god, wait a minute. Wait. Oh no, never mind. No, it's probably not. I'm kind of switching back and forth. For a moment, I thought that was Eri. You know why? Because you can see she has like a muffler, like a red muffler. And then I look at Eri and I see like she's like wearing like a cape. And then I realize, oh, that's not a muffler, that's a cape. So for a moment I thought that was okay. No, never mind. You know what? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. Like it's like another thing that makes me a little bit suspicious. First of all, like I said, they didn't show her face, and when he talks about this story to Ere says like, yeah, you're such a fool, and he's like, yeah, I know. Maybe that's an indication that he doesn't realize that's Ere. So I'm not really sure. That's what it is. I'm not really sure. There is a high possibility that that was Ere, that kid, and he doesn't realize that. But either way, yeah, that was that. And good thing that they were able to get the Stele by the end, because up until now they weren't really lucky. He got lucky finally, and he was able to capture the Stele. So they're also going to pass, which is all well and good. Right. So that was the first battle, and Then we go to the second battle, or the beginning of the second battle, where we have Frieren group versus Denkin's group. Now, there's a few interesting thing, an interesting conversation that they had. Denkin obviously realized this is Frieren and recognized her, and they kind of talk about a few things. And one of the things that comes up here is a privilege that will be provided if they become a first class mage. What is that privilege? This girl, what is her name? Celia or something like that? Just a minute. Saria, yeah. Sarian. She seeks out accomplished mages from the war against the Demon King. Okay. That is why she offers a special privilege to anyone who can become a first class mage. And that privilege is like any spell that they want. She's called like the Living Grimoire or something like that. And she knows literally every spell known to humanity. So, and a lot of people compare her to the goddess of creation. So yeah, that is why. Yeah, like she's that powerful. And he says, for a mage, having any spell you desire granted might as well be the same as having the dream come true. And here you can see, we see these silhouettes. In these silhouettes, I'm guessing these are those teachers, you know. I can see that girl here, I think. Is that girl, isn't it? What was her name? Sense or something like that? But one thing I don't understand is like it seems like they have like wings. Like what's up with that? I'm not really sure. But I'm guessing it's them because you know they're also first class mages. So I'm guessing they also got a magic of their choice they were able to get. So yeah, there you go. So a lot of people are probably doing it for that. Now, you know, I was just thinking, like, oh yeah, why is Denken even doing this? You know, at this age, maybe because of that. Maybe he wants like a particular spell, that he wants, and this is like his best bet to get it. And that's why he's doing this at this age. You know, so yeah, maybe that's what it is. And Frieren didn't know this. Frieren, I guess Frieren wasn't really aware of this. Either way, yeah, and then the whole battle is going to begin now. So let's see, you know, let's see how this goes. And yeah, okay, so that was that. Good episode. Obviously, like the whole Fern situation has come under control. However, we get to see the build up of the Frieren situation, the Frieren's battle that's now going to happen. So yeah, now my guess is, yeah, Frieren is obviously it's pretty obvious like Frieren is going to win. However, I do wonder how easy will it be for her? Will it be quite easy for her, or will it be moderately easy? Maybe like not really easy, not really difficult, neutral, or maybe it'll be slightly difficult because you know what? I feel like we shouldn't underestimate these people here. Like I have been underestimating them for the beginning of the episode. I'm like, what can they do? You know, this is Frieren we're talking about. But I feel like I shouldn't do that because if you remember, Frieren herself told there have been a few humans who have actually defeated her. So again, you know, like I don't think we should underestimate them, even though I have been doing it throughout this whole episode. So yeah, I'm just curious. Like let's see how this plays out. And like Denken seems quite like knowledgeable, and he actually seems like a very capable like a mage, you know. However, will it be enough against Frieren? And yeah, so that's that. Like here's the thing, you know, if Denken wasn't here, if those other two like Law, what was her name? Law, I forgot her name. You know, the girl who took the stealing. If she and this guy Richter was here only, I would have been like, yeah, Frieren could easily take them out. I would have been that confident. However, this guy Denken, he is here. He's pretty damn good, you know. And I'm really thinking, like, you know what, I have been underestimating him because his opponent is literally Frieren, but maybe I shouldn't. There is a very slight chance that he might actually be a very worthy opponent, even though he has lived a fraction of the amount of life Frieden has lived, you know. And he has like a fraction of the experience Frieren has. Um, so even though that is the case, there is a possibility that he might actually be better than her. So I don't want to, like, like, I don't know, I don't like really believe that. However, there's a possibility that might be the case because, yeah, Frieren herself has told us that there were people who defeated her. Like, I can understand elves defeating her, because obviously elf versus elf makes sense. However, she also mentioned that, like, a few humans also defeated her, which is obviously the surprising part here. But yeah, like, I guess it's not really surprising because we know Flamme. Flamme was literally like a powerhouse, and we know how strong she was. So yeah, it isn't really a surprise, but there is a possibility that, the Denken might actually be a worthy opponent, like a person who we shouldn't underestimate. And yeah, and another thing, I feel like, like, this is another thing we need to remember, that like, amount of mana or these things are obviously necessary, but I feel like there's another thing that is very necessary in these type of situations, that is properly assessing the situation and working according to the situation. Like, it doesn't matter if you're like extremely strong, if you are somehow able to, like, I don't know, like, use the situation to your advantage, there's a high possibility that you might be able to take out people who are so much stronger than you. So, and I feel like Denken has that ability. Denken is like, we just saw him deduce the whole thing literally standing. He literally stood there and saw the situation, and he literally deduced what's going on and what Frieren is trying to do. That is something that is crazy, you know. Like, I feel like he is so aware of his situation, and he knows that, oh yeah, this is Frieren. So I feel like the fact that he's standing here confident in itself is an indication that he knows what he's supposed to do in this situation, and he has a plan for it. And I'm pretty sure, like, and I can say this, even though Frieren is way stronger and way more experienced and has way much more mana than him. One thing I can say, that his deduction ability and the way he, like, I don't know, like, the way he, like, his what's that word, his situational awareness, what to do, these type of things, his deducing capabilities, and, his strategy, the way he makes the strategies, these things are, he's well versed in that. He's way above, like, Frieren's, like, Frieren cannot, like, reach him at it, like, in these, like, things, at least. Like, he can, I feel like there's a possibility he, like, deduce something, and he'll think that, all right, you know what, she's a very strong mate, she can probably do this and this, so I should do this and this to go against it, and catch Frieren completely off guard, and actually, like, yeah, like, there's a big possibility that might happen. Because, as they say, sometimes, like, brains, that's very, like, it's very useful in situations where you might not be able to, like, completely force the whole, like, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, like, since he can deduce everything, and he can, like, he has a very good awareness of what to do in these type of situations, I feel like he might actually find a way to somehow, like, figure out how to defeat, or at least, like, somehow make Frieren lose in this situation, even though Frieren is way more stronger than him. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I shouldn't underestimate him, even though I have literally been doing that from throughout the whole episode. But yeah, let's see. All right, that was that. So that was this episode. Good episode, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this battle, how it's going to go. Okay, now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the first section, we get to see Yubel and Wirbel fighting, and you can see Yubel is like slashing, like this completely her surroundings is getting sliced, slashed, and Wirbel is defending himself from that. He's getting a little bit wounded here and there, but yeah, he's just easily just blocking all of that. Um, so while all of that is happening, Ere is talking with Fern, and Fern starts her barrage of magic attacks, and little by little, Ere realizes that, oh, this is too much. I cannot keep up. And she just keeps going, the barrage of like magic spells. She just keeps on firing that one after the other, and it overwhelms Ere by the end of it, and she gets defeated immediately. Yeah, so, and Ere herself says, like, what is this mana? It is crazy the amount of power she has. It's like I'm fighting a monster. While that was that, but here we get to see Yubel versus Wirbel, and you can see Wirbel was waiting, and he waited for the last moment to actually stop Yubel using his magic spell. That thing that he did, and not only that, Yubel, since she was stopped like that, she cannot even use her mana, and she realized that this binding spell is probably doing that, not letting her use her mana as well. Now, a lot of questions popped up immediately. One of the questions that Yubel herself asked later on, if you could do this, why have you not captured the Stele up until now? At which he kind of says before, at first I thought maybe it was because he just wanted to fight, just like Yubel. But then later we realized that he's not like a character like that. He genuinely was unlucky, and he never got to see a Stele at all. That is why he wasn't able to, like catch the Stele like this. It's just bad luck. That's number one. Number two was that he could have easily killed her, as where is that part? Where Yubel says that he could have stopped us from moving when he ambushed us. Why did he not do that? And then he's also like, oh, I'm giving a final chance. Yeah, like leave the Stele and go. And at first Yubel was like, this is so boring. He just wants to steal it. He doesn't want to fight up until the end. So she's like, you know what? And she was probably going to give it, but then she stopped. And then she was like, wait a minute. Yeah, she's like, hang on a second. Why would you need to order me to do such a thing? She's like, yeah, couldn't you just take it yourself? I'm just stuck here. I cannot do anything. You can just come up to me and grab the Stele yourself. Why are you telling me to do it? Here we go. Couldn't you just take the Stele from me when I can't move? And he's quiet. He picks up the Stele like this, throws it up. And yeah, Wirbel looks up. Obviously, as he says, he needs to keep looking at her to, like keep her stopped. That was his mistake. He immediately comes and attacks him, and his neck, like nose gets scratched. But again, he looks back at her, and she stops. Okay, so she says, you cannot stop my movement unless you see my entire body. There you go. So he needs to look at her full self. He cannot just look at like her head or like her legs and stop her. He needs to look at her whole body, full. The full person he needs to look at. I guess you could say that's one restriction. Isn't really a restriction, but so it's funny. So now that I'm thinking about it, if you know what his power is, you can literally kind of not fall into it by just going and finding a cover and just sitting down behind it, or peeking from its back. Because if you're like behind a cover and you're just peeking out, he cannot see your full body, so he cannot stop you. So it's kind of like that. I guess it's kind of funny. Or what? I just realized another thing. There's another. I don't know if it works like that. Maybe like take like I don't know, like some kind of a cover and put it in front of you or something, or I don't know, like to cover yourself. As you know, it's just, I feel like it's just too, yeah, that's not really, you cannot really do that, but it can happen if you like, if you have like, I don't know, like a sheet of like a cloth or something, and if you put it in front of you, he cannot, look at your entire, like self. So I'm guessing he cannot stop you like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would work like that, because technically he cannot see you because you're behind that cover. So yeah, like I guess you can find a lot of loopholes and ways to kind of bypass his ability or go against his ability if you know what it is and how it works. But obviously it's not really possible now because he has actually stopped her, so she cannot do anything at least now, and that's why she cannot use that against multiple people as well, as she said. Also, and yeah, you know what, if he was able to use it against multiple people, it would be a broken ability. Like what? So that is why they needed to, like, like go individually, like, go against one person, like on one versus one, they needed to do it like that. Okay, and he also says, but you also tried to attack my eyes. She says, isn't it the most logical? And he's like, no. If I were in your position, I would have aimed for the kill with the neck. That would have finished the fight. You could have done that. There were others on the battlefield who tried to aim for my eyes as well. They were all freaks who enjoyed killing. Yup. Yeah, that. Right. And she's smiling. Okay. Right. So he says that, oh, I should kill you here now. And she's like, oh, have you killed women and children? Um, and he's like, all right, you know what? You're trying to buy some time. Fine, I'll go along with it. So he talks about his situation, the wars and everything, and how not only he fought like demons, he also fought people. Because, who better to know a human's weakness than other humans? And using women and children in war sounds demonic, but it isn't uncommon. So he did a lot of things. He knows all of that. That's just daily reality in the north. Also, he says, I've heard enough. Okay, you know what, this part I need to read here, like, because I feel like I missed something here. Yeah, so he's just standing there not killing her, and she's like, what are you doing? Why are you not killing me? She says, okay, you know what, let me tell you something. I personally believe that the magic someone specializes in is deeply related to the life and their character. To me, it feels like you use a spell, stops the movement of his target, because you want to postpone killing someone. And she says, so that's why. No wonder you didn't mind me buying time. What a surprise. You already had blood on your hands for a long time, and you still wish to stay human. There you go. Yeah, so I guess that's her way of saying that you're hesitating. You're waiting for either me to surrender so that you don't have to kill me, or, like you're just waiting for, I don't know, something to happen so that you don't need to kill me. You could have easily killed me from the beginning. And that's what she says. Like, you could have stopped me and killed me immediately. Your power is so crazy that you could have literally stopped me and just killed me. But you haven't done that. You're telling me to surrender. You're telling me to drop the stele. Why? And that's what she says. Because you still want to wish to stay human. And he's like, yeah, that's right. All this time is to prepare me for the killing. But let me tell you, Missy, I might falter and hesitate, but I never run away from unnecessary killing. Okay, you know what? I kind of misunderstood one thing. Alright. So he deemed that, yeah, like Yugal was a necessary killing. I kind of thought the reverse. I thought by the end of it, he was like, alright, you know what? This isn't really a necessary killing. So I don't need to kill her. So I could just, like, he was trying to buy time up until the very end, so that, yeah. So that's what I thought. But no, it's actually the reverse. At the end, he deemed this as a necessary killing, and that's why he's saying like, oh, the reason why I'm stopping now and trying to buy time is because I'm hesitating. However, this is all to get myself ready to actually do the deed. So that's what was happening. Okay, so he deemed her necessary to kill, and then he obviously he says like, bye Missy, and yeah, and if it was too late. He was too late, this whole time that he took to like get himself ready, and the time that Yubel bought at that point of time, it was enough for Fern to come in. And yeah, now here Fern obviously tells a lie when he's like, oh, what about Ere? And she's like, oh, I killed her. um okay, so then he's like, all right, you know what, whatever, if you have taken out Ere, then we cannot win. So yeah, I guess like I'll just leave then. And that is what I was saying. I was kind of surprised seeing his character actually being like this, because like I said, I looked at him and I thought that he was going to be one of those crazy characters. But he's actually a pretty decent character, like he has his thoughts. He as he says, he feels like a few killings are necessary, and he hesitates in doing that, but obviously he doesn't shy away from it ultimately. So he's a very, like a very, like a normal type of a person, like he's just like, yeah, he wasn't really someone that I thought he would be, because his character design screams like, like a crazy character, but he's very normal. His character design is completely like, it threw me off, and I just assumed he was going to be like that, but nope. He's a pretty logical person. He thinks and he logically does stuff. And here, as you can see, when he realized that he cannot win, he was like, yeah, nothing I can do about it then. I'll leave. Um, okay, now here, a few other things we get to know here. It was Fern who captured the bird. I was wondering who captured the bird. It was Fern. And it makes sense because obviously she can reduce her mana as well. And as they say, that they like coincidentally came across a stele. That is why Fern used her, like, like suppressed her mana and used the same magic that Frieren used, because obviously she's her teacher, to catch the bird. So it was pure luck that they were able to get that bird so quickly. Unlike this guy who like, like Wirbel, who's like, my luck is so rotten, even though I have such a crazy power just made for something like this, where I can literally look at something and they cannot move. Even though I have that, I couldn't get a stele because I was unlucky enough to not even see a stele up until now. I wasn't able to find it. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then when he was leaving, Yubel was like, weren't you going to kill me? I failed the exam no matter what. Killing you would be superfluous. There you go. Like I said, as he says, that he's logical. He's like, yeah, what's the point in doing that now? And Yubel tries to attack him, and he's like, oh, go on, take a shot at my back. That would only mean you're back from an unnecessary to a necessary one. There you go. It's necessary and unnecessary, like thing. Yeah, for him it was unnecessary then, but if she attacks you, he's like, yeah, it'll become unnecessary again, and I'll fight back and probably like, like kill you. And friend is like, stop it. Friend is like, come on, stop it. And yeah, right after that, we get to see this guy. His name is Land, I think. And his thing is kind of interesting. He, as he says, he looks or gauges the enemy's ability and sees how strong they are. And that's what he was doing. He was just standing there and taking the attacks because he was seeing how this guy fights, Wirbel's teammate. And this guy uses like flower petals and everything. And then in the end, he's like, all right, you know what? Yeah, I looked at you. I've realized that you're bad at mana detection. Um, and it's over. You see, he's at his back and grabs his like neck. So this was his clone, as he says. Um, and he already had one from the beginning, from the beginning of the first exam, because he never trusted anyone, and that's why he already had one from the beginning of the first test. So there was like his clone was somewhere there, like like in the shadows or somewhere, just hiding or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so that is why he was able to catch him off guard like that. Okay. Later on, Weeble comes across Ere knocked out, and he's like, "Oh, so that girl lied." Anyways, uh, yeah, and then Weeble realizes that Frieren is pretty damn strong because he's like, "What type of a monster is she that she was able to do all of this with just basic offense and defense spells?" And then he's like, "All right, let's go." But Ere cannot move, so she's like, "Come on, like, piggyback me." And then they go to Scarf. That's his name, yeah. And Scarf is also like knocked out. So yeah, now he's using his magic to float Scarf and piggybacking Ere. Okay, so yeah, here they're talking about. He's talking about how they have failed. Obviously, they cannot do anything in this situation, and it is like, oh, you could just like you could just ditch us and get the state. And she's like, is that kindness? You're quite kind, aren't you? Is that kindness the reason you fight demons? And she recalls him fighting the demon and saving her. You did save my village as well, after all. And she's like, that's not the case. Like there was like that one girl in my village who I acted, like in front of who I tried to act cool, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to defeat all the demons. So after that, you can come back. And I promised her that. So yeah, I'm just, that's what I'm trying to do. And yeah, it is like, you're such a fool. And he's like, yeah, I know. Now here, like I said, there is a possibility, a very slight possibility that that girl is actually Ere, and Ere realized that, and that's why in the end she says like, yeah, you're such a fool, because she realizes that he's talking about her, but he doesn't realize that. I don't know. There's a slight possibility that that's the case. However, again, like I said, I'm not really sure about, because in that flashback, it seemed that girl and Weibel are same as at the same age, but in the other flashback where Weibel saved Ere, it seemed Ere is a lot younger, like compared to Weibel. So I'm not really sure if they're of the same age or something. I'm not really sure if that girl is Ere. But anime sometimes do this, so there is a possibility that this girl is actually that girl, and um, Weibel doesn't realize that. Even the hair color is the same. If you look at her hair, it's the same hair color. Right. Anyways, now funny thing, they come across a stele and he was able to get it, and he's like, like my luck came in a bit too late. Um, right. Either way, now that's that. Now here we come to Frieren's group, and you can see this girl, Laufen, that's her name. She just grabs Frieren's stele and just leaves. And obviously it's high speed movement, so he can, as Denkin says, he can use it once. She can use it once. And yeah, so a little bit also we get to see the teachers. That the lady teacher, her name is Sense, or Sense. And it's interesting to see that like they're so used to suppressing their mana that the steelers are literally standing on top of their head, their hand, their shoulder. They're that much suppressing their mana constantly. Yeah, and Zen's is like, oh, you're such a, like, like you're such a strict teacher, aren't you? You're using, like, you gave like such a weird type of an exam where you literally cannot use mana sensing to sense the stele. So a lot of students are going to get sacked off immediately. Um, so yeah, you chose a creature you cannot use mana detection on for a mage exam. Yeah, this is a battle disguised as a hunting competition. Right. And however, that guy, that teacher, he also kind of says, like, yeah, you are saying all of this and you're saying that luck plays an important part in it. I agree. However, there was one group who actually didn't really use luck to get the stele. Obviously, he was talking about Frieren's group because it is true. She actually came up with that whole, not she, but the three of them came up with that plan and they led the stele over there. So it wasn't luck. They actually did it. So that is a big accomplishment in itself. Um, Right. And they also talk about Denke, like why Denken, why he's taking the mage exam this late. He's an old man now. And they're like, oh, he must have a reason. And like I said, I feel like the reason is probably that privilege that they will be provided from that elf girl. I forgot her name. Maybe that's why he's doing this. Okay, either way, then we get to see the conversation between Denken and their group. And Denken knows that this is Frieren. And yeah, they kind of have a conversation. Richter, however, is like, oh, you preoccupy Frieren. I'm going to kill these two girls. However, Denken is like, no, don't do that. Just knock them out, put them to sleep. We don't need to do all of these unnecessary things. And he's like, oh, I thought you were, like a lot more ruthless than this. What's up with you? Here we go. I thought you would be much more cold and ruthless. You're an imperial mage, right? I'm sure you've eliminated more than a couple of political opponents. Now here's the thing. He talks about like being ruthless and everything. Like, you remember what Wirbel was talking about, necessary killing? That's what's going on here as well. Unless and until it's necessary, I doubt Denken would try to kill anyone. This guy being this like trigger happy is pretty damn concerning. Like, why? Like the first thing you look at a few kids who are like your opponents, the first thing you think is like to kill them. Like, what is wrong with you? And I kind of agree. I 100% like obviously agree with like Denken's like way of like obviously like doing this. However, I was pretty surprised seeing that this Richter guy is so trigger happy. He's like, oh, let's just yeah. Like, yeah, I like obviously like we know this is like this battle, like this match allows like deaths. It allows you to kill. However, that doesn't mean that you have to do it. If you can avoid it, you should do that. Why is this guy so trigger happy? It seems like he just wants to do it. Like, what the hell? It's just crazy. Like I've seen so many of these characters in this in this match. So many new characters were introduced. He's probably my least favorite character. This guy, this Richter guy. I don't really like him. He has this weird thing with him. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I just don't like his character at all. It's kind of arrogant and it's very like I don't know. It's like and today's episode gave me another reason to not like him at all. Like he's just like, yeah, let's just do it. And he's like, oh, I thought you were way more ruthless than this, Denken. You know, like he's saying that I'm sure you've eliminated more than just a couple of political opponents. Yeah, political opponents versus these few kids who we could easily just knock them out cold, put them to sleep. As Duncan says, we can literally put them to sleep and we can move on with our thing. I don't need to kill them. Why would I? Unless and until it is necessary, why would I do it? I'm not like a bloodthirsty monster that I'm just going to kill willy-nilly. Like, is that what you're trying to do? Like, that's the thing. Like, I really don't like the way he was talking here. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Like, what? Right. And Duncan says, I simply do not think being a first class mage is worth taking someone's life. There you go. Yeah, like exactly. Like not only like for first class mage, but like as again the whole thing that Wirbel said, necessary killing. It's not necessary here. It is not necessary. Why would we could again we could just knock these two out if it is necessary. That's all we need to do. We don't need to kill them. And while this guy say, oh, let's just kill them, like, shut the hell up, man. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, something's really wrong with you if that's how you think. That's the first thing you think to do. And Frieren says, yeah, first class mage is nothing but a title. I don't think it carries that much value. And then he's like, oh, I don't believe this. You don't know about the privilege. And then he talks about that whole privilege thing. Zerie, one magic she'll give you if you are able to become a first class mage. And a lot of people are doing because of that. And you can see Frieren kind of changes her, like look when he hears that name. I'm guessing obviously she knows her. It has been implied before as well that she knows her. Because she talks about an elf. I remember her always talking. She also talked about an elf who defeated her. I'm guessing that is her, probably Zerie. I'm not sure. It's just a guess. And he's like, people like you who don't think privilege matters is a minority. Yeah, I really don't like this guy. He's just Richter. I'm talking about Richter. Like, he rubbed me the wrong way from the previous episode, from the beginning. He's this weird, arrogant tone to him, and it would have been fine if that was that just it. But today's episode made me dislike him even more, because yeah, like even though Denken is saying that he could just knock them out, put them to sleep, and it's all fine. No, he wants to kill them. Wow. Yeah, man. And he's like, oh, you take care of Frieren. That's enough time for me to kill these two. And Denken again tells him, do not make me repeat myself, Richter. They're only kids. Put them to sleep for 3 hours. Surely you can at least handle babysitting. And then he's like, oh, Denken. And Denken's like, I'll crush this one. Now, obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing Frieren versus Denken. However, this dude, I don't really like him. I really want, what's her name? Kanne and Lavina? Yeah, I don't know. Lavine? Lavine, yeah. Kanne and Lavine to completely destroy this guy. I don't know how they'll do it, but I really wish they can do that. Because this guy needs to eat his words. He needs to fall flat on his face on the ground. Like, yeah, that'll hopefully bring his arrogance down. Right, anyways, but we'll see what happens. And even if Lavine and Kanne cannot, defeat him, hopefully Frieren just does it for them. I actually want this guy to lose so badly, and I want him to just get humiliated. Yeah, I don't like him. I really don't like him. Every other character in that have been introduced here, I'm kind of fine with them, and I'm like, yeah, they're okay. Like, obviously there's a few characters that I prefer more than for example, obviously Kanye and Lavine are good characters. I like them. So is Denken as well. I also like Denken. Who else is there? Wirbel, I also like Wirbel. Ubel, I'm kind of neutral on her. I'm not really sure about her. So is with that other guy, what's his name? That guy Land or whatever his name is. That dude with the glasses. I don't have that much of an opinion on him as well. This girl, I forgot her name. The girl who took Frieren's bird. She's also fine, I guess. No problem. However, this guy, I don't like him. Yeah, I don't like him at all. Anyways, yeah, Frieren is now going to have a battle with him. So let's see how this goes. And hopefully Richter gets what he deserves. Right. And it's funny, when he when he said Richter, I was like, oh, maybe he makes earthquakes or something, because Richter. Oh my god. And yeah, his power is earth related. So there you go. Okay, that is it. That is my reaction to this episode number 20. We had Fern and their battle, Wirbel and Ubel's battle. However, we haven't really seen Frieren fight still. Next episode we'll probably see that, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So that is it. Thanks for watching. This was my reaction to episode number 20 of Sousou no Frieren. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And there you go, that is it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Sousou no Frieren. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.